It's 4 p.m. on Friday. Your AI sales agent just gave your largest customer a 50% discount. Nobody authorized it. The demo worked perfectly last week, but now it's live and your VP wants answers about why you're rolling back the entire pilot. Sounds familiar? Well, 2025 was supposed to be the year of agent. Every conference, every keynote promised autonomous systems that would write our code, manage our pipelines, and handle our support tickets.
Well, then call us back when you have the time.
What? Did you just fucking hang up on me, you fucking liberal?
Instead, we got the stalled pilot syndrome. I'm Vikrant and I've spent the last year documenting what actually happened to AI agents in production. This is the 2025 AI Agent Report, the full story of why 95% of pilots failed, and more importantly, the exact playbook for the 5% who will win in 2026. Let's get started. Here's what nobody is saying out loud. We have been obsessing over the brain while ignoring the nervous system. Yes, model choice matters. Poor reasoning or slow tool use will absolutely tank your project. But even GPT-5 is useless when it gets bad data or can't execute actions reliably.
This data makes no sense.
Andre Karpathy nailed this. He described AI agents as a fundamentally new programming paradigm. We have this powerful new kernel, the LLM, but no operating system to run it properly. The biggest, most overlooked bottleneck is not inference costs. It isn't evaluation frameworks either. It's integration. It's not sexy, but it's what separates demos from production. That failed pilot is not just embarrassing. It has real measurable costs. 5 senior engineers, 3 months, custom connectors for shelf project. That's $500K in salary burn. $500,000 on plumbing. While you are debugging OAuth tokens for a read-only wiki bot, your competitors are already shipping agents that write to CRMs, accelerate quote to cash, and flag churn risks before customers even complain. This one hurts the most. When high-visibility AI projects fail, leadership loses faith. VPs dismiss AI as hype, your best engineers get frustrated and leave. Every stalled pilot I've studied fell into the same 3 traps. Let me show you exactly what killed them. Trap number 1, dumb RAG. Here's what happened. Companies dumped all of their Confluence docs, Slack history, Salesforce data into vector database and hoped the LLM would figure it out. Karpathy calls the context window as the LLM's RAM. This approach dumps your entire hard drive into RAM and expects the CPU to find one specific byte. Here you don't get reasoning, you get trashing and context flooding. The LLM drowns in irrelevant, unstructured, conflicting information. Research now shows that less context often produces better results. You don't give new hires the entire company archive. You just give them a 5-page briefing necessary for their function and role. The fix? Context precision, not volume. Trap number 2, brittle connectors. Companies pointed their agents at existing REST and SOAP APIs and expected them to just work. This is broken I/O. You don't control Salesforce API. You definitely don't control your customers' 5,000 custom fields and undocumented workflows. It's like giving a new hire the server room keys but no documentation. Something will break. You're giving a naive agent access to undocumented rate limits, brittle middleware, 200 field dropdowns, and duplicate logic across systems. The fix? Managed tooling interfaces that handle schema normalization for you. Number 3, the polling tax. This is having your agent constantly check for updates. This is an architectural failure. Polling doesn't scale. It wastes 95% of your API calls, burns through your quotas, and never achieves real-time responsiveness. You cannot build autonomous agents on request response infrastructure. Your OS needs interrupts and signals, not infinite loops. Think about it. Your operating system doesn't check constantly if you have pressed a key. It waits for interrupt signals. Your agent needs the same architecture. The fix? Event-driven systems with webhooks. So, what's the solution? The teams that succeeded in 2025 weren't just running the kernel, they were building the operating system around it. This agent native integration layer is that OS. It makes your unready enterprise agent ready through 4 core principles. Principle number 1, context precision. This layer acts as the memory manager. It translates requests into precise queries, fetches only the specific customer record needed, and loads clean minimal context into the LLM's RAM. Principle number 2, bidirectional and event-driven. An agent that only reads data is just a fancy search box. Production agents need write access to update CRMs, create tickets, provision users. More importantly, they need to react to the closed webhooks instead of polling for changes. Principle number 3, policy and governance. Please don't delete customer records isn't a security policy, it's a wish. Production governance requires OS level permissions. The most effective pattern is human in the loop, which works like pseudo prompts. The system pauses high privilege operations for human confirmation. Principle number 4, observability. Remember that 50% discount hallucination from the beginning? That's a testing failure. Karpathy calls chain of thought the LLM's stack trace. The integration layer captures that, along with the API calls and context that led to the bad output. You can mock API responses and validate agent behavior in a production-like environment before deployment. So how do you actually implement this in 2026? 2 organizational strategies are emerging. We have seen this pattern before during the web and mobile shifts. Pattern A is the centralized agent team. One center of excellence builds all company agents. When sales needs an agent, they file a ticket. Best for proving initial ROI, building complex, high-value agents. The catch? This team becomes an immediate bottleneck. Everyone else waits months in the queue. Pattern B is the self-serve platform. A platform team builds the core integration layer as an internal service. Individual teams like marketing, support, product use the platform to build their own domain-specific agents. It's the same playbook as web and mobile platform teams from 2010. Best for scaling AI across the entire organization. The catch? It requires a dedicated platform team and mature governance vision. This isn't either or, it's a maturity curve. The 5% who win platform shifts successfully navigate from pattern A to pattern B. Start centralized, prove value, and then scale with a platform. The question everyone asks, should I build this integration layer or buy it? Here's the truth about building in-house. The hidden cost. You become Chief Integration Officer forever. You maintain every API schema, custom field mapping, authentication flow, and retry logic for every tool. It's a massive ongoing engineering task that pulls your best engineers from building your actual product. Only build if you have a dedicated platform team and your core systems are 100% unique, proprietary, internal tools that no vendor will support. Otherwise, use agent-native integration platforms. Tools like Composio let you connect agents to GitHub, Salesforce, and Slack with just a single line of code. The question isn't just build versus buy, it's whether your best engineers spend 2026 building brittle plumbing or building the OS that runs your business. Alright, here's your actual roadmap for 2026. Step 1. Stop all dumb RAG pilots. If your plan is to vectorize Wiki and see what happens, kill it now. You're building an expensive, unreliable search box. Pick one high-value workflow instead. Step number 2. Audit your legacy bottleneck. Map one workflow, like code to cache. Document every system, API, custom field, and tribal knowledge step it touches. That's your real integration surface area. Step number 3. Find your event-driven gaps. Where do you poll for updates? Which critical systems lack webhooks? These missing interprets are crippling your OS. Step number 4. Explore agent-native platforms. Before writing custom OAuth code, investigate agent-native integration platforms. Understand the build versus buy trade-off and the long-term cost of becoming Chief Integration Officer. Look, 2025 proved the LLM kernel works. The thinking part is real, but the stalled pilot syndrome showed us that brilliant kernels are useless without functional operating systems. In 2026, the integration layer, the OS, determines who wins. The teams moving from demos to production will stop obsessing over kernels and start building the OS that feeds them. The truth? You can't escape integration complexity. You can only choose how to manage it. This is the 2025 AI Agent Report. If you're building agents in production, drop a comment with your biggest integration challenge. I read every single one of them. And if you want the detailed breakdown, the full blog post is linked below. See you in 2026.